Have you ever found yourself sitting across from a partner, a friend, or a family member, feeling as though you are speaking entirely different languages? Perhaps you are pouring your heart out, craving a moment of deep emotional resonance, and they respond with a practical solution to a problem you did not ask them to solve. Or maybe you have planned a beautiful, spontaneous weekend getaway, only to find your partner stressed and anxious because they did not have an itinerary 2 weeks in advance. It is easy, in those moments of friction, to wonder if love has faded or if you are simply incompatible. We have all seen those Myers-Briggs charts floating around the internet, claiming that some types are destined soulmates, while others are doomed to disaster. But how much of this is actual science, and how much is just fun pop psychology? Let us peel back the layers today. We are going to look beyond the surface labels and dive deeper into how your personality architecture connects with your attachment style, your love languages, and your unique way of viewing the world. We are going to explore what these 4 letters reveal about the way your heart beats. To begin, we must ground ourselves in an understanding of the tool itself. The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI, divides the vast spectrum of human personality into 16 distinct types based on 4 pairs of preferences. It is important to remember that these are preferences, not prisons. They describe how you naturally prefer to direct your energy and process the world, much like being right-handed or left-handed. You can use your non-dominant hand, but it takes more effort and focus. The first pair is extroversion and introversion. This is not just about being shy or outgoing. It is about where you source your battery power. Extroverts, represented by the letter E, look outward. They are energized by the external world of people and activities. Introverts, represented by the letter I, look inward. They recharge through solitude and reflection. Next, we have sensing versus intuition. This describes how you take in information. Sensors, or S-types, focus on the reality of how things are. They trust facts, details, and the 5 senses. Intuitives, or N-types, focus on the possibilities of what could be. They trust patterns, abstract theories, and the big picture. Then, we move to how we make decisions. Thinking versus feeling. Thinkers, the T-types, prioritize logic, objective truth, and cause and effect reasoning. Feelers, the F-types, prioritize values, harmony, and how decisions will impact people on an emotional level. Finally, we have judging versus perceiving, which tells us how we organize our outer world. Judgers, the J-types, prefer structure, plans, and closure. They like to have things decided. Perceivers, the P-types, prefer flexibility, spontaneity, and keeping their options open. The authors of this theory and the Jungian concepts behind it never intended for this to be a strict, unyielding map of your entire emotional life. Critics often point out, quite rightly, that the MBTI is not always scientifically reliable for predicting life outcomes like relationship satisfaction. Human beings are far too complex, too neuroplastically capable of change to be fully defined by 4 letters. However, that does not mean the system is useless. Think of it as a helpful mirror. It can show you tendencies you might overlook and help you understand that when your partner acts differently than you, it is rarely an act of malice. It is simply a different operating system. Let us explore how these preferences manifest in the act of loving. Love looks entirely different through each lens. For the introverts among us, love is often expressed through a quiet, steady presence. If you are an introvert or you love one, you know that their affection is not always loud or flashy. It is found in the small, consistent gestures. It is a text message that says, "I saw this and thought of you." It is the act of sitting in the same room, reading separate books, but feeling deeply connected just by sharing the space. Their message is, "I am here, and I have chosen to use my limited social battery on you." In contrast, the extroverts love through energy. They want to share their world with you. Their love is audible. It is laughter, affirmation, and shared adventures. An extrovert shows they care by bringing you into their circle, introducing you to their friends, and engaging in rapid-fire conversation. For them, love is an active verb. When we look at the sensors, we see love expressed through action. This is the partner who notices your car is making a noise and takes it to the mechanic before you even have to ask. They cook your favorite meal because they know it comforts you. They fix the leaky faucet. They hold you when you cry. Their love is tangible. It is grounded in the here and now. They say, "I love you," by making your physical reality safer and more comfortable. Intuitives, however, love through meaning. They are the ones who will write you a 3-page letter, analyzing the spiritual connection of your relationship. They love through symbols, shared dreams, and future possibilities. An intuitive might not notice the dishes in the sink, but they will remember a fleeting comment you made 3 months ago about your childhood dreams and bring it up in a conversation to help you heal. Thinkers love through support and competence. This can be confusing for feelers, but for a thinker, solving your problem is the highest form of care. If you are stressed, they want to analyze the root cause and provide a strategy to fix it. They show up by being reliable, capable, and logical. They are the rock in the storm. Feelers, on the other hand, love through connection. They prioritize empathy, warmth, and emotional availability. They want to merge with you emotionally. They are less concerned with fixing the problem and more concerned with validating how the problem makes you feel. For a feeler, intimacy is the exchange of vulnerability. Judgers love through consistency. They show they care by respecting your time. They plan dates in advance. They follow through on their promises, and they create a stable structure for the relationship to thrive within. Their love feels like safety and predictability. Perceivers love through the spark of the moment. They bring playfulness, curiosity, and adaptability. They are the ones who will surprise you with tickets to a concert happening that night or suggest a midnight drive to see the stars. Their love feels like freedom and excitement. Surveys often mirror these patterns. We see that types like the ENFP or ESFJ often place a high value on words of affirmation and quality time. They want to hear and feel the connection. Types like the ISTJ or INTJ often lean heavily toward acts of service. They want to demonstrate their loyalty through doing. The sensitive souls, the INFP and ISFP, often resonate deeply with physical touch and emotional presence. It is crucial to remember that no single type loves better than another. They just love differently. Understanding this interplay bridges the gap between isolation and connection. It reminds us that most people are already trying to love in the best way they know how. They are simply speaking a different dialect of affection. Let us go deeper into the relationship dynamics, specifically where friction occurs. Consider the dynamic between the extrovert and the introvert. This is a classic case of energy mismatch. The extrovert loves through motion. They talk, plan, surprise, and share. Connection energizes them. They show affection by inviting you to brunch, sending you memes throughout the day, and filling the silence with stories. Love, for them, lives in the exchange. But the introvert loves through stillness. They do not need to fill the air to feel close. Their affection shows up in remembering how you take your coffee and offering their full attention in one-on-one moments. For them, presence is intimacy. Friction happens when the extrovert wants more interaction, and the introvert needs solitude to recharge. The extrovert might interpret that need for space as rejection or distance. They might ask, "Why are you pulling away?" Meanwhile, the introvert might feel overwhelmed by the constant togetherness, feeling as though their boundaries are being encroached upon. But once both understand this difference, love starts to breathe. The extrovert learns that quiet does not mean disinterest. It means the introvert is comfortable enough to be silent with you, and the introvert sees that enthusiasm isn't pressure. It is simply how the extrovert says, "I am happy you are here." Then we have the dynamic between the sensor and the intuitive, which is essentially a clash between the concrete and the symbolic. Sensors love in ways you can touch and measure. They are the guardians of the details. Small gestures say, "I care enough to make your world easier." Intuitives live in the realm of meaning. They might make you a playlist that traces the emotional arc of your relationship from the first date to now. For them, love is poetry. When a sensor offers steady reassurance, perhaps by paying the bills on time and keeping the fridge stocked, and an intuitive longs for spontaneous magic and deep philosophical conversation, they might miss each other's cues. The sensor wonders, why isn't my reliability enough? I do everything for this family. The intuitive wonders, why does this not feel special anymore? Where is the soul connection? In truth, both are loving deeply. They just need to learn to translate. The sensor can learn to vocalize their dreams, and the intuitive can learn to see the romance in a clean kitchen. The conflict between the thinker and the feeler is perhaps the most common source of relationship arguments. Thinkers approach conflict with logic, fairness, and reason. In love, they show care by offering plans. If you are sad, they analyze the cause. Their version of I love you sounds like, let me handle this for you. Feelers seek empathy before solutions. They want presence. They want you to say, that must have been so hard. I am so sorry. To them, love is shared emotional space. When a thinker jumps straight to solutions, a feeler often feels unseen, dismissed, or invalidated. They might think, you are not listening to me, you are just trying to fix me. Conversely, when a feeler lingers in emotion, a thinker might feel stuck and useless. They might think, why are we dwelling on this? Let us move forward. But when both learn the other's rhythm, reason meeting emotion, love becomes both steady and deeply attuned. It becomes a partnership where the head and the heart live in harmony. Finally, the judger and the perceiver. This is the balance of structure versus openness. Judgers express love through order. You can count on me. They make sure dinner is on time. Their love is rooted in intentionality. Perceivers bring the spark. Let us make this moment unforgettable. They chase joy. A judger might feel anxious when things feel chaotic or unplanned. They view the perceiver's spontaneity as irresponsibility. A perceiver might feel suffocated when everything is rigid. They view the judger's planning as controlling. But both values, structure, and flexibility have a place in healthy love. Together, they balance each other. Judgers ground the relationship in stability, ensuring the rent is paid and the future is secure. Perceivers keep it vibrant and alive, ensuring that life is actually enjoyed. So, what does this mean for you, watching this right now? Does your MBTI determine exactly how you love? Not exactly. There is no strong scientific proof that your 4 letters lock you into one unchangeable style. We are not robots programmed with a single code. However, personality frameworks give us a language to reflect on how we connect. Your type may influence your preferences, your blind spots, and your emotional style, but it does not determine your capacity to love deeply, to grow, or to shift. Neuroscience tells us that our brains are constantly rewiring themselves based on our experiences and our conscious efforts. This is called neuroplasticity. You might be a natural thinker, but you can learn the skills of empathy and active listening. You might be a natural perceiver, but you can learn the value of a shared calendar to make your partner feel secure. Your MBTI can give you clues, but self-awareness is what really shapes the way you love. Many of us use MBTI as a lens to see how we show care, how we communicate, and how we connect. At the end of the day, love is messy. It is beautiful, chaotic, and wonderful. It is not coded in 4 letters, but your MBTI definitely colors the way you interpret that messiness. What matters most is not how you naturally love, but that you learn to understand the language your own heart speaks, and that you put in the effort to learn the language of your partner. True emotional maturity, the kind we strive for here at Happy Aura, is about expanding your range. It is about saying, I know my natural tendency is to withdraw when I am stressed, but I know you need reassurance, so I will take a moment to tell you I love you before I go into my quiet space. That is the work of love. It is the conscious choice to stretch beyond our default settings to meet another human being in the middle. At Psych2Go and here at our community, we have explored these topics for years because we believe that understanding yourself is the first step to loving others well. But now, I want to turn this conversation over to you. I want to hear your voice in this. What is your MBTI type? And how do you think it shows up in your love life? Have you ever clashed with a partner because of these differences? Or have you found that your differences actually make you stronger? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your stories are what make this community so special. Your comments help others feel seen. They validate our shared struggles, and they help us keep making content that dives deeper than just the surface level internet charts. We want to know the real human experience behind the letters. And if you want to go even further into understanding why you bond the way you do, I highly recommend you check out our video on attachment styles, which I have linked on the end screen. While MBTI looks at personality, attachment theory looks at how we bond and how our childhood impacts our adult relationships. It might give you a whole new way of looking at your connections. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, be gentle with yourself and be gentle with each other. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are building a movement of psychology made beautifully human, and we are so happy you are a part of it. Until next time, take care of your happy aura.